Hi, I'm Maggie Hanson, and I currently teach intro design at Penn State, but I have a background in architecture, landscape architecture, and art. And I was recently the director of the Small Center for Collaborative Design in New Orleans, as well as a designer at a landscape firm in New York. I am very excited to share with you a little bit of my more recent theoretical research that's grounded in my experiences both in collaborative design as well as in landscape architecture. Go to the next slide. I'm doing a series of case studies that look at care practices, so it's great to be here after Isaac. And all too often, this picture is a sort of completed project of something that's taken years to organize around, hours of visualizing, and then so much money to install. And here, the South Bronx project, 6 months later, the care has fallen apart, and the space looks overgrown and unmaintained and uncared for. So I'm interested in how we think about design for the long-range care, which, especially for landscape architecture, is what forms the spaces that we're designing. Next slide. This is all based in an idea of design within an ethics of care. I've been looking at feminist theories of care work from the 80s and 90s that thinks about a holistic practice of decision-making and ethics, and especially political organizing, that thinks about 5 phases of care. And I think often our work as designers is in the first phases of attention to what the needs are, defining the problem, thinking about our responsibilities, as well as in community design, the last 2 phases of really engaging the constituents and thinking about a holistic system. But often the physical acts of care, of creation, and the ongoing needs of creating and maintaining spaces are left to others. So this set of case studies is thinking about how we engage those practices more directly. Next. I'm in the stage of research where I have sort of a list of lists, so forgive me for presenting 5 categories of how I think maintenance and design, caretaking and care work intersects with landscape space. The first is sort of at the gardening end and thinking about emergent practices where we're encouraged to engage directly with horticulturalists, those experts that really know plants, and thinking about change over time as something that's celebrated through design. This is often in private spaces, but more and more landscape architects are excited about celebrating change in public spaces as well, thinking about them as emergent. Next. In my work in New Orleans, we often used this idea of barn raising, which Carl Lynn wrote about in the 60s and 70s, where you build constituency and build community by collaborative action, co-creation, co-construction. And here the emphasis is less perhaps on the aesthetic qualities, but more on the constituency that's built through shared labor. Next. And then a variation on that, the sort of idea of repeated rituals associated with landscape space, oh my God, where the shared labor happens on a cycle, and that constituency is built through this repeated action. Next. And the fourth, thinking about continuous restoration of landscape maintenance as an overlay to recent designs, maintaining space through a designed cycle of removal, designed maintenance, and maintaining spatial forms. And then fifth, the last one, is perhaps the most difficult but the most impactful, which I'm interested in exploring further, is how we engage more directly with labor and how can we advocate for the caretakers of space, larger budgets, funds, support, and really thinking about maintenance as a skill and a necessary continuous action. So last, I'm really interested in thinking about how we can leverage care as an aspect of design. And I'm interested in how care and design intersects in your work, as well as those other projects that might inspire you. So I look forward to talking to you. Thanks.